welcome back to Fluttering Butterflies. My name is Michelle and I'm here today to do the mid-year freak-out book tag. I haven't been tagged by anyone to do this. I thought I'd just join in anyway. I will leave a link down below to the original creator of this tag. Here we go. Question number 1 is the best book you've read so far in 2017, and that book for me is A Change Is Gonna Come, an anthology of Black and minority ethnic writers in a collection put together by Stripes. There's loads of different contributors to that, and it was just so amazing to read. It was very inspiring as well as entertaining, and I absolutely adored it. The second question is the best sequel you've read in 2017. I don't read a lot of books in series at all. I find series are a little bit too much effort for me, but I did read Traitor to the Throne by Alwyn Hamilton. This is the second book in the Rebel of the Sands trilogy, and it was amazing. I absolutely adore this trilogy. Question number 3 is a new release that you want to read but haven't yet. For that I'm going to choose Truth or Dare by Non Pratt. Non Pratt is definitely one of my favorite authors. I'm always really excited to read her books, but just because of circumstances this year in my personal life, I haven't quite gotten around to it, but definitely this one. Question number 4 is the most anticipated release in the second half of the year. I don't really know, guys. I think that I'm focused right now on cutting down my TBR and books that have already been published that I haven't yet read, so I have no idea. I don't know what's coming out. I don't know what to look forward to. I got nothing, guys. Question number 5 is the biggest disappointment so far in the year, and for me that was 3 by Hannah Moskowitz, which I wrote a little bit about in my Love Month wrap-up. 3 by Hannah Moskowitz, thinking that it would have an LGBT relationship. It didn't really. It was more of a polyamorous relationship, but there was just things about it that I felt could have been dealt with more or explored a little bit more. So for me that was a pretty big disappointment. Question number 6 is the biggest surprise of the year so far, and for me I think that was gonna have to be Noteworthy by Riley Redgate. This is about a girl in a boarding school. I really loved it. It's obviously a boarding school story. It's a book about a cappella, but it's also about gender and sexuality. Question number 7 is a favorite new author, either a debut author or someone new to you. For me, I'm going to choose Erik Lindstrom, the author of Not If I See You First and A Tragic Kind of Wonderful. I read both of these books this year and I absolutely adored them both. I love the way that Erik Lindstrom incorporates lots of different things into the books. So even though one book was particularly about a girl's disability, she's blind, and the other one is definitely about a girl's experiences but with bipolar disorder. Both books cover so much more to that, and I found that really refreshing and entertaining and just really good. Question number 8 is your newest fictional crush. For this I'm going to go with both Rafe and Ben from Openly Straight and Honestly Ben by Bill Koenigsberg. I absolutely adored both books. They're connected in that Rafe and Ben both appear in Openly Straight, and then in Honestly Ben you get it's a sequel in that you kind of get Ben's perspective after the events of Openly Straight, and I really loved it. I thought Openly Straight was one of the funniest books I've read so far this year, and whereas Honestly Ben isn't quite the same in terms of humor levels, it's still just so very emotional, and I fell in love with both characters. Question number 9 is your newest favorite character. For this I'm going to choose Morgan from Hole in the Middle by Kendra Fortmeyer. I'm still reading this book. I'm not very far into it, but so far I just really love her voice. in the circumstances, I guess, I think that she's definitely going to end up being one of my favorite characters. It's a little early to be making that call now, but that's me. Question number 10 is a book that made you cry. For me, I'm definitely going to choose The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. I found the entire storyline and everything involved in this book to be hugely emotional, and I was loving my way through the final quarter of that book. I thought it was amazing. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy. I'm going to choose two books for this because they sort of cover a similar subject matter, I'm going to say, and that is Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde and Geekerella by Ashley Poston. Both books are very much about geekdom and fan culture. Queens of Wild is about three friends who go to a convention and really just nerd out. They're completely in their element, and I loved it so much. And same with Geekerella, really. It's a retelling of Cinderella, but where they go to a cosplay ball at a convention at the end, and it just made my little nerd heart happy. Question number 12 is your favorite book to film adaptation you've seen so far this year. I don't really keep track of the films that I've seen this year. I had to actually do like a Google search just to see what film adaptations were out this year and if I'd seen any of them. I did actually write down Hidden Figures because I absolutely adored that film, and I did see it at the beginning of the year. But as long as we're not like too rigid about the question, I'm gonna say The Handmaid's Tale, which is a TV adaptation that I've been watching, which I've just completely fallen in love with. I read The Handmaid's Tale ages ago, but I loved being reintroduced to the story and the characters with this TV adaptation. I think it's been incredible. Question number 13 is your favorite review that you've written this year, or if it's on Booktube, your favorite video. I haven't been doing that many videos or blog posts this year, but if I had to choose a favorite review, it would probably be Eating Animals by Jonathan Safran Foer, which is the first blog post and first review and first book that I read this year. It's about the treatment of animals in terms of farming and the impact that that has on the environment, on the animals, on the health of everyone involved, and it was just really a fascinating book to read, and it's something a little bit different for me. Question number 14 is the most beautiful book you've bought or received so far in the year. I'm gonna again go with two different covers, and they're very similar in that they have this like really shiny metallic foil on both covers, but the first is Showstopper by Haley Barker, and it just makes me so happy, this cover. And the second one is this one. It's Ink by Alice Broadway. Look at that! I'm gonna stop before I blind you though, sorry. But I do think that they're both stunning books. The 15th and final question for this tag are books do you need to read by the end of the year. I have 3 books for you. I've got The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James that I really want to read. I've got Orange Boy by Patrice Lawrence that if I'm honest I've only put off because it's a little bit chunky, but I've heard such amazing things, and I'm absolutely embarrassed actually to have not read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas as yet. For me today, those are my answers to this tag. Everyone in the world has already done this tag already, but if you want to take part and need a tag, then I'm doing it. I tag you if you want to do it. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.